Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 36 of our second session this year, which is all about going deeper. My name is Rishi, and I will be your MC for tonight. So a bit about myself. I've been practicing Sahaja Yoga for over 20 years. I'm currently based in Toronto, in Canada, and it's really a privilege to, embark on this journey together tonight. So welcome, everyone. So I'd like to remind everyone before we start, if we can have the slide, to please get our foot soak ready. I'm sure you're all experts now and you know everything about the foot soak. So please get that prepared as we will be having a foot soak in our session today. If you're new today or you know have continued in our session but may have missed sessions in between, not to worry, because you can review all the course materials on our website. So all sessions, everything is recorded and it's all available on our website. One other thing is you can also request a one-to-one mentor. So to do that, a link in the Zoom chat will be posted. So please do take this opportunity, as having a mentor is a really great opportunity in a very, you know, informal way to get to know one another and ask any kind of personal questions. So a recap from Tuesday. So on Tuesday, we talked about our left Vishuddhi chakra, which is all about, you know, what happens when we get that guilt and how guilt robs us of our energy. Today, we will talk about the right Vishuddhi, and the emphasis will be on the power of speech to give love to others. So I'd like to go over today's agenda. So for today, we will be having a beautiful talk by Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi, so the founder of Sahaja Yoga, on today's topic of the Right Vishuddhi. We'll have an amazing guided meditation and foot soak. We'll also have another second guided meditation. We'll also have some live music. And then at the end, like always, we'll have an opportunity for everyone to ask questions. So we'll have a Q&A at the end. Now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce my team for tonight. So if we can please have Kristine, Sudeep to please come forward, and also our fantastic, fabulous musician, Kalyan, to please also come forward. And we'd love to have, you know, a brief introduction about yourselves. So maybe you can share a bit about yourselves and what else do you do other than, you know, practicing Sahaja Yoga meditation? So we can start with Sudeep.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Rishi. Good to be back again and meditate with you all today. For those who are here, whom I'm interacting with for the first time, my name is Sudeep Hegde. I live in Clemson in South Carolina. I work here at Clemson University as a faculty in industrial engineering.
Excellent. Kristine, would love to hear a bit about yourself as well.
Sure, Rishi. Hi, how are you? And hello to everybody out there. I'm so happy to be part of this program this evening. My name is Kristine, and I live in the Boston area in Massachusetts. And I work at a community music school as a registrar and also as a flute teacher. And I've been practicing Sahaja Yoga since 1981. So I'm very happy to be with you tonight.
That's amazing. Thank you. And last but not the least, our very talented musician that I'm sure you've all seen multiple times. He's an expert in violin. Kalyan, would love to hear a bit about yourself.
Sure, thanks, Rishi. Hello, everyone. Nice to be back here. I really enjoy these meditations together. My name is Kalyan Gopalakrishnan. I live in the Connecticut near Hartford area. I work in the IT industry, and I pursue the South Indian classical music on the violin. That's what I play. So I would like to play a rag called Jai Jai Vanti, which is a rag which really works well with the Vishuddhi chakra, which is at the throat area.
Excellent. Thank you all. I'll pass it over to Kristine.
Thank you, Rishi. As Rishi explained, tonight we're talking about the right Vishuddhi. We talked about left Vishuddhi on Tuesday night, and the complement to the qualities of the left Vishuddhi is the qualities of the right Vishuddhi, which is all about communication. and allowing ourselves to express the inspiration and the pure qualities of the right side or of the central channel through our voice, through our communication. In the left Vishuddhi, we talked a lot about developing a sense of self-esteem. With the right Vishuddhi, what we want to notice is that while communication is extremely important, we want to temper and balance our communication in such a way that we can express our love and our sweetness from within. And on the slide, you can see some of the other qualities of the right Vishuddhi. The source of collectivity, which is our sense of community, our sense of relationships, brotherhood and sisterhood, our relationships in the community, and also our sense of self-worth, our sense of responsibility, and our sense of oneness with others, with the being part and parcel of the whole, so that we're not just no man is an island by any means. We are connected to one another, and that we have responsibility for each other. And one of the primary responsibilities is to speak lovingly and to express our sweetness and our concern and our care for each other. So we have this relationship. Again, on Tuesday, we spoke about the relationship, the brother and sister relationship. And this also exists on the right Vishuddhi. This sense of relating to others in a pure way, in an honest way, speaking up when we need to, but never with harshness. Never, it's become a bit of a fashion to speak in a very brash way and maybe overemphasize our particular point of view and to sort of force our views and our opinions on others. And the right Vishuddhi, we want to temper that and balance that with the sense of pure expression of our concern for others, and yes, speaking the truth, yes, being honest, but in the sweetest way possible that we can possibly find. Another quality of this Vishuddhi chakra is our ability to establish a witness state. The witness state allows us to be the observer of what we're going through and seeing ourselves from a bit of a distance and watching the drama and watching the play of the divine as it plays out through our actions, through our words, and through our relationships. But this witness state is very valuable, it's very joyful, because it allows us to give over our sense of responsibility to the divine and allow the Kundalini to work everything out on our behalf. So this witness state, a sense of relationships, of collectivity, and our ability to speak sweetly and lovingly to others, and to make others feel good with our voice, all of these play into these qualities of the right, the pure qualities of the right Vishuddhi. While we avoid forcing our opinions on others, speaking harshly or sarcastically, we balance off and clear those qualities and balance the center so that we can express ourselves in the most loving way possible. So now we have our foot soak ready before us. Let's go ahead and bring the bowl closer so that we can start our foot soak, and we will focus on some of these qualities of the right Vishuddhi during our meditation. Let's begin by raising our Kundalini. and putting the bandhan around ourselves for protection for our meditation. And now let's give some vibrations to this foot soak water by using our right hand, moving in a circular or clockwise spiral motion into the water, and asking at the same time that may this water become vibrated and activated for the purposes of cleansing our subtle system. And then we can go ahead and put our feet into the water. So let's calm our attention and bring our attention inside and take a couple of deep breaths. And we're going to begin by putting both of our hands towards the Mother Earth. While we have our feet in the water, which also has the salt, which represents the Mother Earth, we're going to also put our hands towards the Mother Earth element. And ask this Mother Earth to please absorb and remove any negativities that might be coming in the way, getting in the way of our meditation this evening. Mother Earth, please cleanse and balance our subtle system, both the left side and the right side channel. And now let's bring our left hand onto our lap, but leave our right hand facing towards the earth. And ask our Mother Kundalini to please cleanse and balance this left side channel of our emotions and our past, our memories and our conditionings. Mother Kundalini, please cleanse all of this left side channel. Of any negativities and fill our left side with pure joy. Now let's bring our right hand back onto our lap and bring our left hand bending at the elbow and pointing the fingers towards the sky. And ask this element of the air to please cleanse our right side channel of any buildup of heat or tension, of impatience or irritation. anything that has built up through our actions or our thinking during the day can be released into this air element. Leaving behind just the pure qualities of the right side. Of dynamism and auspicious action. And now let's bring this left side, left hand back down onto our lap. And we're going to bring our attention to the Vishuddhi chakra on the right hand side. We can take our left hand and put it on the right side of our neck. And we can say inside ourselves, Mother Kundalini, you are the sweet countenance of my words and my deeds. Mother Kundalini, you are the sweet countenance of my words and my deeds. May all my communications and my relationships towards others come from a place of honesty, of forthrightness, and of love and pure concern for the welfare of others. Now we can take our left hand back down onto our lap and bring our right hand onto the center part of our Vishuddhi. And here we can say, Mother Kundalini, please make me a part and parcel of the whole. Please give me the awareness of the essential oneness with this universe and the essential oneness with others, with my brothers and my sisters. Mother, please make me a part and parcel of the whole. And now we can give a circular movement with our hand to our Vishuddhi chakra. To give more support of vibrations to this center. And we can say, Mother, please establish within me the pure witness state. And we can cleanse out anything from this Vishuddhi chakra and just sort of toss it into the foot soak water. And bring our hand back to our lap and allow our attention to rise. And we can use our right hand to raise a few more strands of Kundalini and bring our attention right to the top of our head, onto the Sahasrara chakra. We can feel with our hands above our head for the flow of Kundalini. First with our right hand, and then with the left hand we can also check. Let's complete this part of our meditation today by finishing the foot soak. We can sweep our left and right side off down into the foot soak if you want to. Just removing any remaining negativities that need to be cleansed out of our system. And rinse our feet off into the bucket. And put the bucket aside. And now we're going to have a video of Shri Mataji's teachings where she talks more about these qualities of the Vishuddhi chakra, particularly the right Vishuddhi chakra, and how we can learn how to master these qualities.
When he raised his head towards the ether, towards the sky, then this Vishuddhi chakra developed into a different dimension. And people started developing the ego and superego. Superego was already developed, but ego developed in such a way that it started suppressing the superego. That's how you have got conditionings on one side of the Vishuddhi and ego on the other side. When I told you the other day that you give up your free will, in the sense that when you raised your head, you did it through your free will with your power of growing that you had as animals. After that, now you have reached to the human level, and to rise above the human level now, you have to do is to seek your complete freedom. And for that, Vishuddhi chakra is going to help you along. On this Vishuddhi chakra, we have to really pay full attention. It is such a complicated chakra. It has all the vowels of a Devanagari script emitting out of the sound of the Shakti that is passing through it, of the Kundalini that is passing through it. So all the vowels are heard on these chakras. These vowels are, as you know, 16 in number. Without the vowel in the Devanagari, you cannot write anything. Vowels are the sustenance, are the power that supports every consonant. So it's very important that our vowels have to be fully nourished and respected. The movement of the neck, as you have seen, in all international life, if you see, everybody has practically the same. Even those who cannot hear, those who do not understand your language, you can nod like this, you can say no like this. Everyone understands this is yes or no. In some particular area, of course, they have little different type of nodding. But too much of nodding of head is not a very good sign. I have seen people in the West, if you tell them something to show that they have appreciated it, they'll go on for quite some time. That's not necessary. Just have to say, all right, or I've understood it. That's all. You have to use your voice instead of nodding like this all the time. It's very bad, very, very bad for the Vishuddhi chakra. Or some of them are the other way around. That whatever it is, they'll put up their head like this. And they won't talk properly. They will not say a word, they'll just keep quiet. You may go on pinching them, doing anything, they won't budge. This kind of personality is also very much detrimental to the growth of their evolution. Apart from that, their Vishuddhi becomes a very big problem. Because of Vishuddhi, there are so many problems. Like angina, you develop because of Vishuddhi. You develop spondylitis because of Vishuddhi. Sometimes people lose their voices completely. Sometimes they have all the time coughing. And there are so many physical problems out of Vishuddhi because, as I said, it's a very, very complicated center. It looks after your ear, nose, throat, all the 16 subplexuses are there, which are looked after by the center. But above all is the center of discrimination. The center of discrimination only comes when you are free people. Till you are biased, till you have your own concepts, you cannot be discrete. And that's the one point where one must understand that to achieve your complete freedom, you have to get your Vishuddhi chakra cleared out. First and foremost thing is that we must speak in a sweet manner. Speak to someone in a sweet manner, not artificially, but sweetly. Speak in a manner that another person likes it. Satyam vadet, priyam vadet. Speak the truth. Don't tell the lies. If you go on telling lies, after some time, even if you tell the truth, it will become a lie. But if you are telling the truth, that even if you tell a lie, it becomes the truth. Nothing is definite about Vishuddhi. Whatever may be the expression of a person may look very innocent. Because that's the thing you can do with your Vishuddhi. You are free because you have raised your head. At this point, you have achieved this kind of a special aptitude that you can deceive yourself and you can deceive others. Some people look extremely innocent on the face. They may look to be very simple people, but may turn out to be horrid. Some people may look to be idiotic, but may be very intelligent. So it is how you play with your Vishuddhi which is responsible. But the main thing what I am trying to tell you, that you can maneuver your Vishuddhi. The way you want to put your expression, the way you want to make your face, the way you want to suggest something, all you can maneuver. And you can keep your heart away from it. In the heart, you may have poison for a person, but outwardly you may say to that person in a very sweet manner something that the person might feel impressed. But in all this behavior, pattern of behavior, you are deceiving yourself, not deceiving the another person, because your self is spirit which knows you very well. And this will go on and on for all your lives that have to come. So there is no need in any way to be artificial in your expression. There is no need to hide anything in your expression. Of course, if you don't like someone, you need not just say, I don't like you. But in that case, you have to be not also so much appreciative of the person that he is deluded into your appreciation. Now, eyes are very important, and eyes in a way are very much looked after by Vishuddhi because the muscles of the eyes are looked after by Vishuddhi. Now, the kind of muscles we have which pull our eyes, which close our eyelids and all that is very much suggestive. You must notice that there are some people who come to me, their eyes go on like this when they close their eyes. They cannot keep it shut. There are some people, when they open their eyes to me, they just keep the eyes open, they just cannot close it. Both are in trouble. The ones which are just keeping the eyes open all the time are the people having supraconscious moods. And those who are flickering their eyes are having the subconscious mood. Some people have also the habit of keeping the eyes in an angle all the time. They never see you straight, but in an angle they'll see. They think sometimes it's very fashionable. Sometimes ladies think it's a very good way of looking at people. And some of them have such eyes that they'll go on, looking and pouring their greedy eyes onto others or their lusty eyes onto others. This is the worst thing you can do to your eyes, because such people are easily can become blind. Such people might have trouble of the eyes, especially reddening of the eyes can come to such people very much, very quickly. So one has to be careful to keep the eyes very pure, the eyes of an Yogeshwara.
Let us close our eyes and just stay this pure state of meditation while letting the message of Shri Mataji's words percolate and settle within us. While we listen to this piece of music, we just keep a watch on our attention in a very relaxed and gentle way, and see if it can stay at the top of the head.
Let us continue to stay in meditation. Letting the echoes of that beautiful music vibrate our Vishuddhi. Let us enjoy the peace of it. The development of our Vishuddhi is a key step in our evolution, as we just heard from Shri Mataji. We develop all our senses and our communication ability through the Vishuddhi. But it is not just the external aspects of communication through the senses, but also the information from within that we are able to feel, become sensitive to. Information of the subtle from our chakras, from our Kundalini. So we can place the right hand across the Vishuddhi, this the base of the throat. And ask Mother Kundalini, Mother, let me feel you. Let me be sensitive to your movement through all my chakras. Let me be sensitive to the subtle vibrations. Let me feel the connection that you have given me with the divine. Let me feel it in the form of the Chaitanya, the subtle cool breeze on my hands, above my Sahasrara, and over my entire being. Mother, please open and awaken every one of the 16 petals of my Vishuddhi to manifest its full qualities. Let's bring our hand down. In our meditation, let us introspect. How do I interact with others? How do I use my Vishuddhi? How often am I able to truly be authentic, speak truthfully and sweetly? How effectively am I able to show my love, my compassion? Do my words, my expressions express humility and confidence? The Vishuddhi is the chakra through which the qualities of all the other chakras are expressed. So let's once again place the left hand on the right side of the shoulder, of the neck. And we can just give the right side of the neck a slight stretch by turning the head to the left. Mother, let me not be dominated by others. Let me be able to speak truthfully and confidently, and tactfully where needed. Let me be articulate. And at the same time, let me not dominate others with my words, actions. If we find ourselves with a tendency to speak too much, perhaps too eager to show what we know, then we can balance that by placing our left hand here and saying, Mother, you are the knower. I know nothing. You are all knowledge. You are the knower. You are the doer. You are the communicator. Make me part and parcel of the whole. Bless me with the awareness that I am one among many cells of this cosmic being, that we are all one. Our perceptions, our thoughts and feelings might be different from each other's, but the spiritual love and peace that each of us feels in our connection with the divine is the same. Because the spirit that resides in each of us, that is awakened, is simply the reflection of the same, of the one, of the absolute truth. So let my interactions with everyone, as I play my part in this world, reflect that enlightenment. We can bring the left hand down. We bring our attention to the top of the head, or just above it. And just be in a witness state, not reacting to any thought, but letting go. We can now conclude the meditation by raising the Kundalini 3 times. And then balancing ourselves, bringing the energy of the left to the right and the right to the left 7 times. We can slowly open our eyes. Over to you, Rishi.
Thank you so much. That was really a very, very peaceful and very sweet meditation. Thank you so much for that. So I'd like to now move to the next part of the program. And I'd like to start off by making some announcements. So if we can please have the slides. So a sneak peek into Sunday. As you all know, Sunday is Easter, and the topic for Sunday is emerging from our shell. Now, the egg is a symbol that we can use, and it's related to Easter, but I don't want to share too many details and spoil the suspense. So please stay tuned for Sunday, as it's all about being born twice and emerging from that shell. So please stay tuned. And as you all know, we have our schedule. So currently we're in our session 2, going deeper. And don't forget that we also have our collective foot soak and meditation sessions happening as well. Now, for our program resources, so one great opportunity for you all is requesting a mentor. So to do so, please fill out the form, which is now posted in the Zoom chat. Please take this opportunity. It's wonderful to have that one-on-one experience with a experienced Sahaja Yoga meditation teacher. So don't forget, please fill out that mentor form in the Zoom chat. Also, please feel free to join our WhatsApp group. The link to join the WhatsApp group is also in the Zoom chat, posted now. And again, something that's amazing is all our handouts, sessions, recordings, everything is posted on our website. So that's also available for everyone. Now, please note that today's handout for the Vishuddhi Chakra will also be posted, so if we can see that. So here on the slides, you can see we also have affirmations that you can practice at home, talking about the left Vishuddhi, the center, and the right Vishuddhi. So all this is also posted on our website. So this concludes the formal program for today, but if you'd like to stay back, please do, because now is the time where we can all have that interactive, space to ask questions. Now, how to ask questions? Again, very simple. First way to ask questions is you can write to the breakout room help. Now that is, by just searching for breakout room in the Zoom chat, and you can have that one-on-one connection with a Sahaja Yoga teacher to ask your personal questions. Second way to ask questions is writing to the chat Q&A. And if those two are not suitable for you, then the third one is writing directly to me, your MC for today. So please feel free to write your questions. We'd love to, talk to you all and have this discussion. So please do write. I'd like to welcome back the team. So thank you, Sudeep, Kristine, and Kalyan, for really taking us through beautiful meditations and also wonderful violin. That experience of the music was like really heavenly for me. And I'm very happy that you played for us. So each of you have really done a phenomenal job today. And I'm really, blessed that I could be part of this team tonight. All right. So let's wait for some questions. I think we have our first question here. So let me read that. So give me a moment. So here's the first question. Very good one. So this one is saying, how have you improved in your ability to speak with the power of love since you've been practicing Sahaja Yoga? And if you could give some examples. So I'd like to start off by asking Sudeep to please share some words of wisdom with us, and then we can go round table.
So examples of how I used Vishuddhi to share love. There's lots of examples, of course, where you have the opportunity to show love. Well, just simple everyday examples. So when I meet someone for the first time, there is a genuine desire to connect with that person, right? Whether it be at work or just socially, or perhaps in Sahaja Yoga, and just wanting to know about the other person genuinely, not being too eager to just state who you are, is goes a long way in starting that connection, and then it creates that space to then share more, and then the love is actually is all of that is an expression of love. So it has come in handy in so many situations. Too many to name, I guess. So.
Awesome. Kristine, would love to hear some thoughts as well. If you'd like to add anything.
Can you repeat the question?
Yes, sure. So the question is, how have you improved in your ability to speak with the power of love since you've been practicing Sahaja Yoga? And if you could give any examples.
Okay, that was the important word there for me was the word improve. And and some of these things, of course, as one matures as a human being, you develop your communication powers and your ability to do, as Sudeep says, to make a genuine connection with people. I can say that in my own background, I came from a family that was very verbal and very, I should say, well, dinner times were a bit of a free-for-all. There was a lot of competition for, people to make themselves heard. And so, having grown up with that in my background, and I was the youngest member of the family, so what I found became a pattern for me in my younger days was that I would tend to just keep quiet unnaturally until I just couldn't hold it in anymore, and then I would have burst forth with something probably not very timely and at an inappropriate moment and very, very direct. So, what I have learned with the help of Sahaja Yoga is that it's important to let yourself speak. It's important to express yourself and not hold things inside to the point where when you finally do, you can't, when you can't hold back anymore, then things burst out in an inappropriate way. So it is important, I think, and when we talk about speech, we often refer to speaking from the heart. So if you have something in your heart that needs to be said, it is important to find a way to say it, but not just to be overly direct about it and be overly honest or overly frank, but to figure out a way to say it in a way that is receptive, that will be received by the other person, that they can understand. So that's the challenge, and that's the joy of learning how to communicate with others in such a way that they will actually receive the message that you have in your heart to relate. So I guess that about sums it up for me in terms of sort of the growth process of figuring out how to communicate with others is to allow myself to speak what's in my heart, but to find the way to say it that someone else will actually understand.
That's excellent. Thank you. Kalyan, would you like to share anything?
Sure. Yeah, what I felt is the improvement is mainly in terms of it becoming more natural and more spontaneous. So earlier it was more of an effort of trying to convey something, or I mean, the intellect has a role to play in it, right? But now it is more natural. It comes from the heart, like Kristine was saying. And I also feel the power of love is also about just letting the other person express themselves, and putting them at ease so that when they are with you, they feel that, yeah, they are being heard as well. So I feel that really immediately puts them at a level of comfort, and then they're more receptive, and whatever you say reaches them. And if it is from the heart, right, there is a genuineness in it, and then that kind of just naturally expresses itself. That's what I felt.
That's excellent. You've all said some amazing points. And yes, I'd like to agree. You know, if you speak from your heart and you speak the truth, right? Like you don't need to sugarcoat or anything, but just from your heart, then that message comes out in a way that the person who's in front of you, they will receive it. Like they'll hear it exactly as they need to, you know, and it's beautiful. Like I feel for myself too, just meditating, you'll notice naturally you start to be more calmer when you speak to others and you're more of a listener, you know? So again, great points that you all mentioned, right? Because you start to listen and people start to feel more relaxed in your presence and they can open up and feel that warmth, that security. So yeah, great points. Very good. All right. So our next question is, so give some examples of how you now respond differently in your life to situations in which you used to be too critical or judgmental. So this ties to the first question, kind of. So I guess we'll start this time with Kristine.
Okay, so examples of, I'm going to ask you to repeat the question again.
Yeah, sure. We're also thoughtless. Perfect. So the question is, so give some examples of how now you respond differently in your life to situations in which you used to be too critical or judgmental in the past.
Yes, I think it's about that witnessing power. That's what that's what comes to me, is that if I'm in a situation where I feel like, I'm having a reaction to something that someone else is saying, then I just immediately find myself trying to go into that witness state and say, just wait a minute, just go into thoughtless awareness, don't react, don't have, don't have like a sudden impulse, don't act on the impulse, but act and speak from a place which is a centered place. So I do find that that has become much easier for me, to go into that witness state and to go into a state of thoughtless awareness, and where I just say, I'm just not going to react, and then allow myself to say what I feel needs to be said.
That's excellent. Thank you for sharing that. Kalyan, if you'd like to go next.
So, I mean, in work situations, it's often a necessity that we have to quickly make some decisions, right? About people, about performance, whether somebody is suitable for something. And in some ways, it is considered a skill to be able to reach quick judgments, right? So, what I have felt is that those judgments that you make in the initial stages may or may not be right, and a lot of times people just need their time and space to express themselves and for them to be at their best. And being judgmental too quick is really is a deterrent to letting people express themselves. So that is something that I have realized in work situations particularly, that I kind of need to have that patience and give them that space and use encouraging words. And it really works like magic, because when people feel that they are being valued, they are being encouraged, they really perform much better. And when they need help, they ask for it. They feel comfortable to ask for help as well. So that's something I felt.
That's very nice. Thank you. And Sudeep, if you'd like to share some more thoughts.
Yeah. So, I just came back from a conference that I attend. It's a professional conference that happens every year around this time. And it's attended by hundreds of people, if not maybe 1,000. I don't know, but lots and lots of people. And there are people that you know closely, that you meet every time, you know very well. It's easy to, you're already friends with them, and then there are those who you don't know. So, and then there are some that, that you've seen each other at those conferences, but you've never actually spoken to each other. You kind of know who they are, and they know probably who you are. But it's I feel like sometimes those types of interactions are vulnerable to misunderstandings, because um, you could you may have unintentionally looked somewhere else when they were looking at you in the past, or vice versa, and a misunderstanding could develop that they might think that you are ignoring them, or you might think they're ignoring you some other time, right? And then you kind of get a feeling of, that sort of attention building, which is totally unnecessary. Uh, and I found that the best way to confront that is to just talk to that person if you get the opportunity. And it so happened that with somebody like that, we were walking around this poster session looking at these research posters, and we just ran into each other and spontaneously I just smiled, and they just smiled back, and you could feel each other's hearts just opening up, and we just broke into a conversation, and a new connection was made, and it was, of course, a very positive interaction. And all the nonsense that was built up, at least in my mind, over maybe a few years, about impressions about that person, just dissolved instantaneously. So, and it alludes a little bit to what Kristine was saying earlier too. Sometimes it's important to speak up. It's important to speak, and when the opportunity presents itself, it's good to take that opportunity and not worry about how will I say, what will I say, what is the right time to say it. Uh, if you just lean into it, the words invariably will come, and you don't have to worry too much about whether I said it the right way or not. Because if the intent is correct, if you're saying it with your heart, then it will show. So, and the more you do it, the better you get at it.
Exactly. That's very true. Yes, no, you've all answered this question like perfectly. For me, totally agree with all these responses. And yeah, personally, I've seen like through meditation how before I'd be sometimes very judgmental on, let's say, like how you were saying, Sudeep, on some, out of some misunderstanding, misconception about a person, or let's say, there's a situation where before I would like react, and get angry. Anger is something that really is, it's never our friend. But when we meditate, when we work on our Vishuddhi, I feel in the same kind of situations, you automatically, naturally, like you don't force it, but you react differently. Like, for example, you become more detached to the situation, or like you can witness, you can witness yourself. And if you're starting to get angry, you're aware, and you can, go into that silence. And for me, if I go silent, I cool down, and that really helps. So silence is actually powerful sometimes, and sometimes when we, talk to everyone, and again, like you were saying, right? Just one smile can, melt someone's heart, and all these simple, natural things just come. So definitely, like for me personally, I've seen that evolution over time. So that's fantastic. All right, so here's another question.
Hey,
So
Rishi, can I
yes,
interrupt you for a second? I actually have to step away for just a minute because I'm running out of battery. So
Sure.
I will be right back so I can join back in the conversation.
Perfect. No problem. All right, so let's continue. I think we have one or two questions more. So for this one, the question is, has anyone experienced the Kundalini rising by itself when you are not in a meditation session? Does that mean you are in a meditative state? I've heard we can't do meditation. It's a state. So this is a very interesting question, actually. So maybe Sudeep, if you'd like to start us off.
Sure. Yeah. I think I very briefly responded to that in the chat as well. But yes, that as you start meditating regularly, it is quite natural that you have that experience where you're just walking somewhere, you're talking to somebody, or you're driving, and there's just a situation in which your kundalini just comes up spontaneously, like you weren't even trying to meditate, but it comes up. It happens because after self-realization and with regular meditation, the kundalini is active. It is much more ready to rise, right? Because your sahasrara is open, the passage is clear. So um, it, so and you'll stop being surprised by it as well, because it will become more and more part of your nature to just spontaneously feel. If you hear, let's say, somebody speaking the truth, or something that is deep, it could be a poem that you hear, or it could be just some words of wisdom, or even a scientific truth sometimes, or some music that is resonant with the spirit. Um, you'll feel that the kundalini rising, or you can even feel it on your hands. The cool breeze. On conversely, if there is something that you hear, perhaps, or in a situation where there's some sort of an imbalance, you may feel a certain tingling or some heat on maybe a specific fingertip, which where the imbalance that is happening there is, you can feel it on your subtle system. So it happens. You now become more sensitive to the subtle nature of things through vibrations. I think there's a follow-up question to that. I asked this because I was sleeping, but I feel the energy rising from the bottom of my spine and stop halfway because I was nervous. Yes, so nervousness could be related to the heart chakra, and where the kundalini stops because there is perhaps a constriction in the fourth chakra because of fear. And what it is doing is basically working out the balancing of that center and clearing that passage on its way through to the sahasrara. So yes, and all of this are indications of your sensitivity to your subtle energies and subtle system. So it's great that you're feeling it, because before self-realization, you may be feeling nervous, but you won't feel the blockage in the path of the kundalini. So and now you're feeling it.
That's perfect. Kalyan, would you like to add any more words of wisdom here?
I think that was very well answered. I don't have much else to add. In fact, I'm very happy for you that you are feeling this spontaneously, right? That's the whole thing about this meditation, that it improves your awareness. And it is not only when you sit and meditate, but all the time. And that awareness really helps you know where you are at any time. And so that's the real beauty of it. And there have been times when I have not been expecting to get into meditation, but it has just happened. And it's so enjoyable. Those are all moments to cherish.
That's wonderful. And Kristine, I know you've joined us back again, so I'll just reread the question. So the question was, Has anyone experienced the Kundalini rising by itself when you are not in an actual meditation session? And does that mean you are in a meditative state? I've heard we can't do meditation, it's a state. So if there's anything you'd like to add.
I think that Sudeep covered it pretty well. But yes, definitely your Kundalini can rise when you're not intentionally sitting down to meditate. Because it's true, if meditation is a state, it's not an activity. You may encounter something that triggers your Kundalini, like, say, for example, you hear a beautiful piece of music that was written by a realized soul or is being played by a realized soul, your Kundalini will rise spontaneously. And the next thing you know, you'll find yourself in meditation, which is, I think, the same thing that Kalyan was just maybe referring to. Or you run across, for example, maybe a piece of art or something like that, or you meet another person who's also had their Kundalini awakened, and your Kundalini responds to their Kundalini. You're going to have the Kundalini is going to rise. You're going to experience a moment of, wow, something just happened, something's going on. And it is, the beauty of that is that you have the sensitivity, are developing that sensitivity to have a recognition of those moments when they occur.
If I can quickly just add on to that, I'm just reminded of one similar experience. So I was at the Metropolitan Museum in New York many years ago, looking at the paintings there. And there are paintings by many of the famous Renaissance painters like Rembrandt and Raphael and many others. And I was standing before one painting of Raphael's of the Madonna, Mother Mary with the infant Jesus, and there are many such paintings, of course, especially from that era, including at the museum. But I just spontaneously felt just a cool breeze, like on my hands and just all over my being when I was looking at that particular painting. It was amazing. I did not feel the same way with other paintings, which were also, very skillfully done. But there was that special quality to that painting, and maybe one or two others in the museum. And then came to know later that Shri Mataji had, I think, said at some point that Raphael was a realized soul. So it was a very nice experience to make that connection and see it in my awareness.
Wonderful. Well, that's a wonderful experience. Thank you for sharing that. And you've all answered this question again. Like it's perfect. Like I have nothing to add here other than keep meditating and you will have these experiences, and it's such a beautiful journey because sometimes these experiences come to us when we're least expecting it, but we need it the most at that time to either reaffirm our belief on our journey, or clear any doubts. So it's really magical when these experiences happen. So that's really great. Perfect. So I think that is all the questions for today. I'd like to thank the team again. So thank you, Kalyan, Kristine, and Sudeep for your time and going through such beautiful sessions with us and music, and even at the end today your amazing words of advice. So thank you all. And also I'd like to thank everyone who's joined today in this session. It really takes commitment, so hats off to you all. I want to wish you all a wonderful night. Keep meditating, and we'll see you all in our next session.
Thank you. See you all.
All right, take care. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.